What's up?
What's up?
Welcome to one-on-one ratio pod.
Woo!
And my light is working today.
Yay! No more spooky, haunted, whatever that was.
Yeah, the ghost that's sitting in my walls.
Yeah, bad.
Not good. Well, this is great. We're doing a podcast again, and
hmm
this week we're talking about a classic. What classic are we talking about?
Do the right thing. Yoav's
Yeah,
pick.
when I do the wrong thing.
We don't ever want to do the wrong thing.
No, we don't. Not on this podcast.
No. Here
Because we're
we always
yeah, we're good.
we're always do the right thing.
Yeah, we only belittle our audience when we want to. And it's always okay anyways, because we don't have an audience.
Exactly. Actually,
Oh,
our just like something that I noticed was that our girl who walks home alone at night episode didn't do that well. And then
huh.
our close-up episode surprisingly like did well. Like we got like 30 views on it.
Well, because close-ups, like, I guess more famous than Girl Walks Home.
Right, but then our boyhood one got like 5 views. So
Yeah,
everyone hates boyhood pretty
no one
much.
wants to hear that. Like, it's people talking shit about it. It's still like, um,
Yeah.
that's weird though. I think Oppenheimer is still sitting at our number one.
It is. Oppenheimer is our number one episode with I think 50 views.
Yeah. Oh, it's because YouTube boosts the algorithm for new channels.
Does it?
Yeah, for
Well, they
like the first
should.
it like boosts them up in the whatever. But if you are watching this, we love you. You don't even have to like. I can feel your presence.
Yeah, we can feel you.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that was creepy.
Oh,
Let's what happened here? What happened this week, movie related?
yeah, so movie news actually. Um one of the first things I saw was that Oppenheimer is the highest grossing biopic of all time now. It has surpassed Bohemian Rhapsody, which was the number one spot, and it is now Oppenheimer.
That's a good overthrow. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, very good overthrow.
I thought the highest grossing biopic would be like I don't know, like Rocket Man or something.
No,
Or
I
one of
don't.
the oldies, like the life of Emile Zola or something.
Honestly, Bohemian Rhapsody makes sense. When it came
Yeah,
out, everyone was like obsessed with it.
yeah. They were screaming and hooting,
hmm
hooting and Deo. Um, well, we have some feedback from the Toronto International Film Festival, which is happening as we speak, I believe.
Yep.
And I've heard some interesting things
Want to share?
about some of me and you's favorite and most anticipated films so far. The Holdovers. Who's hyped for the hold? Raise your hand if you're hyped for the Holdovers. You know, in Israel, we raise our hands like this in class. Isn't that funny?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question.
Actually, hypothetically, if the Holdovers one was to win the Best Picture Oscar, because it's a feel-good movie, and we're thinking about Coda, because Coda won the Best Movie of the Year over the actual Best Movie of the Year. Um,
True.
but I don't know. So I feel like Holdovers has more chance than something like Past Lives, but whatever.
I
It's a
don't
feel.
know. I don't know about that one.
Mm, we'll touch on it in our Oscar predictions.
Yes. But okay,
Um,
it's giving like a Dead Poet Society.
yes, directed by Alexander Payne. It's a movie that happens in one of those boys' schools where all the boys go to.
Yeah, we know what happens at all boys schools.
Yeah, let's just say it's we'll be flagged for inappropriate behavior if we talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
The Holdovers, directed by Alexander Payne, is one of those boys' schools college core movies. But it's like a feel good Christmassy thing. Great reactions. I'm getting like 9 out of 10s across the board from critics that I respect. And it does have its cliches from what I understand, but it's like a really like a great, uplifting, fun, dramatic comedy. So what do you think of that? Are you looking forward to that?
I am. I saw the trailer when I was watching some movie, don't remember which movie, and it looked pretty cute. And I was like, oh, I definitely want to see this.
I like the cinematography. It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels cozy. Um, Another thing is Poor Things, which is gaining traction. It's rolling. It's like a little snowball, like rolling down a hill. It's like, ooh, your ghost. Your Ghost Lanthimos' Poor Things is like getting a lot of interest. It might be winning Best Picture according to a lot of people. Um, but I don't agree with that. There's a lot of sex in it apparently on the Emma Stone front because it's
Okay.
about sexual liberation as a Frankenstein's monster. I don't know. It
I will
sounds crazy.
I'm excited for that.
I'm looking forward to that Mark Ruffalo Emma Stone sex scene because it was in the trailer.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, or potential Willem Dafoe. I don't know how I feel
I
about
don't,
that.
because his character in it seems a little
Weird.
I don't know,
Defoe.
yeah.
Directors do like showing Willem Dafoe's balls, though.
They do. If you want
So
that, watch
if you watch
Antichrist.
that, watch Antichrist. But it might also be in Poor Things. We're gonna be looking for that. We're gonna be looking for that ball shot.
Woo! Excited.
Zone of Interest, directed by the director of that one Scarlett Johansson movie that's really, really critically acclaimed, Under the Skin, and
Um,
Sexy, if you've heard of Sexy Beast.
wait,
This is
really?
this is my number one anticipated of the year. Zone of Interest is a movie that follows a family of a German commander that have a house that is right next to Auschwitz.
Mm,
So, and it follows their lives, and it seems like literally bone chilling, like amazing experimental stuff, and it's gaining interest. Zone of Interest is gaining interest. Also, Linklater's Richard Linklater, we covered him last podcast, and we
yep.
talked about his hit film Boyhood, but
Yeah.
that wasn't that good, was it? But he did direct Days and Confused and the Before trilogy, so he's okay.
So we cut
Um,
him some slack. We cut him
yeah,
some slack. We can't
yeah.
all be perfect. It's okay.
So his new film, Hitman, is getting great reviews, got a 5 minute standing ovation, and it's about a hitman. And I've heard great things, and that it's a really fun time. And apparently, it has also a lot of sex scenes.
Huh.
So lots of sex at TIFF today.
And Glenn Powell looks like a pedophile in
Yeah,
like so I'm like,
he always kind of.
no, he usually looks better.
That's true.
I don't know. He looks like a pedo.
Yeah,
That's all
looking
I
forward to seeing that. Um, what other news did you hear of?
um oh my god. I can't. Guys, headphones and long hair just does not mesh well. Okay. Last bit of news is that we got the Wonderful Life of Henry Sugar,
Yeah,
the new little Wes Anderson short film that is being released on Netflix. We got the trailer for it with Dev Patel, who guys,
big heart for.
we he's the best. He is such a cutie patootie pie. Like I just want to eat him up. Okay.
And so is the star of the film, Benny Cumberbatch.
Yeah, which I'm like, I thought Dev Patel was like the main guy, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought that Dev Patel would be the biggest cutie patootie pie in the
Yeah.
film, but I think that maybe Henry Sugar himself might have out cutie patootie pied him. So the trailer looks the trailer looks really great. The cinematography looks crazy and experimental.
I think Wes Anderson won't let us down.
Yeah.
I mean, Asteroid City was great, so I think this one, I think we're in good hands here. I think we're
You
in
know,
a good place.
people are saying this year has been Wes Anderson's downfall, and I disagree. I haven't seen Asteroid City.
I
People say
disagree.
that he's devolved into his complete Wes Anderson form. He's evolved into the pinnacle Wes Anderson, not in a good way that his Wes Anderson isms have become too obsessive and too doll-like and unreal, and he's lost all touch with reality, and it's all just like aesthetic nothingness.
Did
Um,
is were people saying this about
Both Asteroid
eh,
City and this new film. So
are you serious? Did we watch the same movie? Because I swear to God, people don't understand that you could have a style and also convey a story and emotion. Like they think that because it's his style that like it's just that and there's nothing more to it.
they just said that like more than his other films, like these critics that really loved something like Royal Tenenbaums and Grand Budapest, they think now his style is too over substance. I don't know. I haven't seen Asteroid City. So
I disagree, but I could that's a whole other conversation.
yeah,
But
interesting.
yeah, that was our last bit of movie news. And
What did you
so,
watch this week?
oh,
Oh, were you trying to do a segue? I'm sorry, I like freaking cut you off.
I was gonna do a segue, but it's okay. It's okay.
Sugar,
Sugar, honey, honey.
what did you watch this week? Sugar? Stop.
Nothing.
What?
I haven't watched anything. Okay, I haven't watched any movies. I
Have you been
watched,
watching any TV?
huh?
You seen any TV, television?
Yeah.
What have you seen?
I was bored in class, so I started watching What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show.
Taika Waititi.
Yes. And it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. Yeah. That's all. I literally, guys, like you don't understand. Have had no time to watch any movies. Um, I have been at school till like 9 every single night. So I don't have time to do anything. Yeah. What did
Yeah.
you watch?
Well, Meli, that's a first strike. Two more strikes, and this podcast is just going to be called One Ratio.
No.
Instead of a square, it's a straight line ratio. It's just one line.
Well, that would
Two.
be really freaking boring.
That's true. You balance me out, Meli.
Oh, look at that. Look at us, guys. You're
Um,
never gonna get this anywhere else.
Definitely not. I watched some crazy films. And the last film I watched actually ranked, it became my 500th review on Letterboxd.
Wow, guys, he is committed.
He's committed. I've read like marked as watched over 1,000 films, but this is my 500 official reviews while I've had Letterboxd,
Wow.
which is crazy, meaning in the past 3 years, I've seen 50% of the cinema around I've ever seen in my life. So I'm a raging lunatic.
He is, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I watched hella films. I watched, well, I was sick, so I watched every time I'm sick, I watch the same movie, and that is True Stories, directed by David Byrne. This movie makes my heart swell. It is so funny. It is so freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. It's I can't even describe how much this movie means to me. It like makes me tear up just thinking about it. Like it's that meaningful to me. I watched
Oh.
I watched Chasing Amy, directed by Kevin Smith.
Oh.
It's a rom-com about Ben Affleck chasing a lesbian.
Oh, ha ha ha, ha, hor, funny.
You know, there it was teetering on nuanced because it's kind of like about fetishization of lesbian women.
Okay.
But because it's made by Kevin Smith, No.
But what else
I
has he done?
he's Have you heard of Jay and Silent Bob? He's
No.
directed Tusk.
Oh!
He's directed Clerks and Zack and Miri Make a Porno. That's his like most.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
So that's him. That's Kevin Smith. Don't watch this one. It's like it's what I wrote in my review is that the issue here is that it's like a commentary on male ego, but it's presented through the lens of male ego, you know?
Got it. Yeah.
Ben Affleck's a cutie patootie though. Just like he is in the movie, he is. Um, I watched Qui-Gon, which is indescribable. Just, just indescribable. Qui-Gon from the director of Harakiri, and Harakiri sits at number one at the top 250 Letterboxd films of all time. Um, and from this director comes Qui-Gon, a 3-hour horror anthology from Japan from the year 1964. It's way ahead of its time. It's terrifying. It's devastating. It left me speechless. So I can't even describe how beautiful Qui-Gon is. Definitely check that out. And then I watched Do the Right Thing with my sister, and we wanted something to cool us down. But this movie really just made us more angry. You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah.
Oh, I've heard of that. Oh my God. Oh, he didn't. Oh, guys. When he
I
goes
can't.
silent,
I can't. I
when he
can't.
goes silent, y'all, it's over.
I can't with how horrible this one is. If I was a 13-year-old girl and it's a rom-com, I can't. I can't about how horrible this is and how shitty I felt about our generation after this. It stars Adam Sandler and his two daughters, his two little nepo babies. Um, and it's horrible. It's horrid for Jewish representation and Gen Z representation and everything. It's bad.
Well, don't watch that movie.
Don't watch that. It's on Netflix if you want to form your own opinion, but I really don't recommend it. I'm 16 years old and it made me feel like a boomer. And you will get that if you watch it. Then I rewatched Where's the Friend's House, which is just point
Right.
blank. But that's it. That was my week, pretty much. There's two more movies in there, but I'm not gonna talk about them. They were not
Yay. Oh. Okay,
great.
guys. Well, we'll see you at our debrief. Welcome to our next segment.
Are you a robot? You're a
Maybe.
robot. Are you an AI? Oh, oh, you kind of ate that up. You did eat that up.
Thanks. Thank
You did,
you.
you did eat that up. Welcome to our discussion of Do the Right Thing, directed by my boy Spike Lee.
Woo!
Awesome, awesome filmmaker. What Spike Lee movies have you seen?
I've seen The Black Klansman
Yeah, that
and
one's
now
good.
Do the Right Thing.
Adam Driver is great in Black Klansman.
He
Is
is, and so is John. What the hell's his name? John
so
Washington.
is
Just
John
John.
David Washington? Is that
I don't
is
know.
that a person? Whatever. Great funny movie if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen Black Klansman. I've seen this, and I've seen Bamboozled.
He directed that?
Yeah, and he directed
Oh.
Bamboo. That movie's about blackface, and it is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. I watched it for film class. You might too very soon because you're in that same class. Um, it's a hard watch, but I'll start this discussion off by saying that I think in this might be up there with Bamboozled. It is. It might be. And we'll get
Like
to it
as in like quality wise or disturbing wise?
quality wise.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And if you know my rating for Bamboozled, I don't know if you do.
I
Don't look at
don't.
it.
I'm
Don't
not.
look
I'm
at
not. I promise I
it.
won't.
Please start. What was your first note?
The first note that I wrote down is, wow, I love the opening scene.
Oh God! Oh God, it's so good. Oh God, yeah. The dance, the
It
dance is
was
so
so
good.
cool. It was so cool.
Also, my first note. It starts with like one sax note from a saxophone, and then hip hop straight into the angry. What is it? Fight the power. It's
Yeah, I think.
it's not Wu-Tang Clan. It's the band that Radio Raheem always plays.
Yeah, he wait, now
They're
okay.
great. I've listened to a lot of their stuff, so it's a shame that I don't know.
I gotta
Hmm. Um, while Meli's finding that, what I noticed in the beginning is that the lights in the beginning during her dance get more and more red, and the expression on the dancer's face gets more and more intense, and her movements get more and more angry. I don't know if you noticed that,
I
Meli.
did notice that.
And the camera gets closer to her face, and I think that whole hip hop dance sequence represents the whole movie.
Oh, foreshadowing.
Osho loved the begin, loved that entrance. What was your second note?
Okay, I can't find this. This is like too much for me to look for right now. Wait,
Actually,
Public Enemy. Just kidding.
yeah, it's Public Enemy.
It's
Great
Public
band,
Enemy.
band.
Um,
Great group. I think it's like an assembly of hip hop artists, whatever.
is it?
Yeah, I don't know if to call them a band. It's like a collaboration of sorts.
Okay. So here's the thing. I have two. Last week,
Yeah.
Yoav was like, "Oh, I have all these anecdotes." So I have like anecdotes that I have that I call that I anecdotes that I just had the word
Wrote down.
that I compiled while watching the movie. And then I also have like my overarching analysis of the movie. So my second anecdote is so random, but when Mookie, I think it was, yeah, when he was walking out of his house and then the Jehovah's Witness were like trying to get his attention.
Jehovah's Witness? Is that what that is?
They were either like Jehovah's Witness or like Mormon or something, and then he was like, "Hell
Oh,
no!" And he like walked.
old guy. Yeah, no, the Jehovah's Witness. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
laughing so hard, and he was like, "Oh!" And he like fucking walked like a sprint.
This movie is so funny
It
until it's
is,
not.
yeah,
Until and speaking of that, spoiler, more warning, if you haven't seen this, watch it, please. Um,
I think a lot of people have seen this movie.
it is super funny. It's super funny. It's
Yeah.
great. I mean, all the Samuel L. Jackson is my second note, and
Oh my god, he is. Oh,
Radio Daddy, so Radio Love Daddy.
love daddy.
Love Daddy. Samuel L. Jackson is so great in this movie. All of his bits, and that's the truth, Ruth. I feel like I've heard a bunch of his lines before and recognize his figure, and I've never even seen the movie. I think it's like a big pop culture thing that I've been missing out on.
Yeah.
Great performance is amazing.
I have a note on him. I
Yeah.
just thought like, cause whenever what was the scene? Was it, I think, was it with the fire hydrant? No, not the fire hydrant. Like there was like this one scene where he was like in the background and he was like making these faces and stuff. I think it was like,
I didn't catch that. I don't think I caught
you
that.
didn't? Okay, it was so funny. I was dying of laughter. I think it was like when the police were there. Um, and in the background you can just like see him like it's very like obvious, like I don't know, I picked it up, but like he was like making faces and like these like gestures and stuff, and it was like really funny. I don't know.
I didn't catch that. That's a shame. I'll have to rewatch it, and I wouldn't mind rewatching it. Um, I talked a little about the production design. I felt the heat from the screen. Not only was it super hot outside when I watched this, which was perfect, but I felt Well, you're living in Cali, so you probably like really felt the change. I started sweating like high key. Like I felt the TV was burning me because it's so hot and the production design and the cinematography make it so hot. And this movie's so sexy, hot, and sticky and sweaty, and the cinematography so good at portraying that. So the
Also,
cinematography.
like from a makeup costume standpoint, the way that they like have the sweat like gleaming off of these people,
So real. Like there's actually hot there.
it looks like it's like real sweat. Like it's crazy because sometimes like you see sweat and stuff in TV and you're like, okay, that looks really fake. But like here it looks like it's humid out and they're like sweating and they and then like the costumes,
For sure. And the costumes were
perfect.
sticky to their body too. I don't know how they did it. And here's my theory, actually. I think I'm not sure, and I should have totally checked this. I wasn't was this filmed on a studio set? It
That's
definitely was.
I was wondering that because I was like, at some points it looked real, but then at some points it looked very
I think
fake.
filmed on a studio set.
Let's check.
And if so, the lights in a studio are very hot. So that would make sense if they provided no precautionary measures in terms of the heat in the studio, then the actors would sweat like that, and like it makes total sense. Um,
Oh, no. The film was shot entirely on Stuyvesant Avenue between Quincy Street and Lexington Avenue in the Bedford Stuyvesant neighborhood of Brooklyn.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful that they did that on-site shooting.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. That's great. That's great. I thought it was on a studio for some reason, just because everything is so perfectly crafted visually. It looked like they would like Spike Lee was like tampering with reality.
but like
I
he
get
must have whoever the production designer was, but was I know that he or she was scouting out that location. Like,
obsessively looking through streets in Brooklyn and like obsessively replacing and creating props and creating environment and that's like so much work. Production design is underappreciated. The movies
facts.
like really show this. But this movie I noticed was very theatrical in general, which hit a really sweet spot in my heart because I love theater. And
What you do?
you're funny. You, if you don't know me, I really love theater, and I think she does too. Does she? She does.
Wait, what? Yeah,
Yeah, Meli's she's a stage manager right now.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm like a moderate theater kid. Like not even I don't even like calling myself that. I'm like a moderate theater like lover, I guess. But like Yoav definitely likes it and is more knowledgeable than I am. He likes it more. Whatever.
Better stage managing than I would ever be. So, um,
And
this
he's a better performer than I would ever be, so
um, yeah, theater. We're not only film buffs, we eat theater up too.
yeah. I eat theater kids for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, actually.
Um, the dialogue here is spunky, almost like musical, like because this is very hip hop jazz oriented. There was sometimes it felt like there was a beat in the dialogue,
Yeah.
especially because all the hip hop like framing this. Um, it not a beat, just super spunky, just super fast paced, super, you know,
Hmm.
like amazingly. This movie's kind of like a contained detailed piece. So I really, really like that theatricality. Um,
Yeah, I something that I noticed in the beginning, I guess, and then I was just thinking it, but it like it doesn't apply as much as the movie goes on, but in the beginning it's almost like little like little short like snippet, like it's like an anthology almost. Like
I haven't known about that too.
okay, yeah, you have like you have like Mookie, and then you have like those three men sitting on, and then they like cut to the three men sitting on the sidewalk and talking for like 3 minutes, and then it'll cut to Love Daddy, and it's just like all these like different little things that like don't like, I guess, seem to necessarily make sense. Not that make sense. It doesn't like seem like a
But they
storyline in the beginning.
do. They do. That's my like big note here. For one of my broader notes. There's a thing where there's like, have you like impressionism, like impressionist paintings? Have you? It's
I
like
think so.
paintings like Georges Seurat or like early stuff that where if you zoom really close into a painting, it just looks like little dots, little strokes, and nothing is connected, right?
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Almost abstract. It's like these painters used brown and yellow to form a new color. Some like some cold shades to create a warm shade. But if you really zoom in, it's just little strokes giving your eye the illusion of color. Um, but then you zoom out and you're getting this full portrait. And the end of this film is the zoom out for me. Everything is contextualized. These little microcosms, these little microaggressions, which are here too. And these little interactions are all representative of bigger things, but you don't really get the full picture until the end. And we'll get to the end. But yeah, that's the connection I made with these little scenes at the beginning. Did you like them? Did you like the little scenes?
I did. I really did. I enjoyed that a lot personally. I
It
don't know.
was it was entertaining. So entertaining. All of the characters here are just so infectious, like the mayor and Love Daddy and Mookie and what's his name? Booby Sticks? His
Booby
name
stick
was it
booby?
Booby Booby Buggy?
You mean
Bug
bugging out?
Bugging out, bugging out.
Bugging out. Oh my god, my favorite. Bugging out and Radio Raheem.
What did
Love
you think of
them.
it? You have a note about him?
About who?
Radio Raheem?
Um, I
Because
have
in
I
the
have a note more on like a connected to
big,
my overarching theme, but like him specifically, I don't know, I just liked his character, and I guess like I get where he's coming from with the music.
I do. He's like in the beginning, looking at him kind of made me sad. It was like this guy that doesn't talk and he walks around all the time, kind of fighting for civil justice with this very like civil this piece this music this song that he keeps repeating, fight the power, fight the power, fight the power. He was kind of like sad. He looked sad and he was, to me, he's like not a very happy guy, really affected by the world around him. And obviously later he's shot down, which was devastating. But from the beginning, his character kind of was like sad to watch. Did you get that?
A little bit. I mean, like I didn't necessarily feel sad when he
No, I
was on screen, and it's not like I felt pity for him. It was more just like I felt frustration because I was just like, "Ah, no one's listening," or like no one's paying attention. And they're all just like telling him to like shut up and all that.
um the character I did feel pity for was the disabled, the one with the speech impediment.
Smiley.
Yeah, Smiley, because he's like, is he white? Is he mixed? What's his like
I'm a,
ethnic?
I think he's mixed.
I don't know. I don't know if he like in the beginning I thought he was white, but I have no idea. But he's like also kind of like Radio Raheem, someone that's constantly Malcolm X, Martin Luther, Malcolm X, Martin Luther, he's constantly reminding people and no one's listening to him. People push him around. Yeah, but the people that push him around the most are the Italians. What are your thoughts on the Italians?
Okay, well, first of all, um, in the beginning, this is like in the beginning, like before like it was obviously established that these people are extremely racist. Um, I was like, yo, Sal and his family, especially his children, seem pretty racist. This is before they started saying slurs and stuff, and they were just being like very aggressive. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, okay, yeah, obviously, like,
Well,
okay,
here's my thing. Um, they are very racist. They're, I think, might be the most bigoted people in the film.
yeah.
However, everyone here, and it's shown by these like this that one scene where it's all zooming into these different people of different races.
Oh yeah, I have. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah,
Everyone here is bigoted, and the black people are very, very bigoted against the Koreans specifically, very
yeah,
bigoted,
yeah.
like they say horrible stuff. um I don't remember if they said a racial slur against Koreans, but
I don't think
they said
so.
very, very horrible stuff, and
Yeah.
was the white people, but obviously that's a different situation. um there's bigotry in everyone, but I will say I did enjoy watching the Italian family. They were fun characters to watch. What did you
Yeah, oh,
think?
for sure, for sure. No, no, like definitely very interesting. But I guess okay, because I okay. I have like I don't know like when I should say it because it's kind
Shoot
of long.
for the moon. Shoot for the moon.
Okay, hang in there because it's a lot, okay? But like basically like my one of my second like note I guess was that it's interesting seeing like the rivalry between all the different people living and working on this block. So you have like the black people, you have the Koreans, you have the Italians, you have the Puerto Ricans, I think they were, right? Um you have the police officers, you have like other just
Shoot.
like white people like passing by. So it's like interesting seeing like their dynamics and the way they interact with each other. Um, but then it's kind of like even when the different groups have their differences, I was saying how in the end, like they all band together against like the overarching oppressor and like the and I guess that would be obviously the cops, but like in the end you see how they're all like together, I guess, and they put their differences aside. Hmm?
Because at the end, it's the people from the African American front raiding the Italian restaurant and then going to raid the Koreans. I didn't know if I didn't get the feeling that they were banding together.
Well, like against the police officers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, and then because I was like, oh, because then the black people and the Puerto Ricans were like fighting together.
Right.
And then they were going to like do the same
Right.
thing to the Korean like people, and which is not right, by the way. I don't condone that. But then like I guess after they kind of realize like, oh, like we are more similar than we are different. And then so I guess like that realization kicks in for them. I don't know. That's what I got from it.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. I think you are. I think there's definitely a lot of interpretations you could possibly have about that ending.
Yeah.
Um, because it's such a powerful one. It's such an arresting one. I stopped writing notes the second the ending that like last ending began, the second Mookie threw that trash can. I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
found my phone and I was like, it, this whole movie is like this, and then it's like the climax is hard to watch. It's hard to watch. Um,
Yeah.
okay, we're back, and I was just about to start one of my like broader points here.
Yeah.
Um, so it's super interesting to me that this movie comes so early in Spike's filmography. Because I feel like the movies I've seen up to now really focus on a specific branch of racial study, or like studying the racial tension tension, racial differences, ethnic oppression, stuff like that. Black Klansman focuses on hate in terms of groups, in terms of the Ku Klux Klan, in terms of, oppressive stuff like that. Bamboozled focuses on blackface and historical oppression through the form of art, and I feel like this, which is like the film that really made Spike blow up, comes so early in his filmography, but it's such a broad stroke of genius. It's such in grand scale. Not only is it touching on, family dynamics like brotherhood, siblinghood, being a son, being a daughter, um, it touches on temperature, it touches on racial tension. It's not just about really black and white conflict. It's about hate and love as a whole. Um, and which we'll get to Radio Ream's famous monologue with his what's it called? Brass knuckles, gold knuckles.
Well, kind of, but they're more like
Yeah, they're
yeah,
more
yeah.
like Judah. Um, but it's a broad stroke of talking about love and hate and all these really, really human emotions and conflicts. And it's a movie about so much. So it's so interesting to me that he started with this big bang statement and then really went into focusing. And his movies haven't been have never been as critically acclaimed as this one was in the beginning of his career. And it's so interesting to me. That someone can start with something so impactful and so grand. So that's one of my points. That it's really such a big statement he's making here. Yeah,
That's really good.
thank you. What else did you write? What kind of broad things did you write?
Okay, so I kind of okay. The quote that I went off of was he died because he had a radio. All he wanted was some pictures and he died because of a radio. Um and so I guess
Chills.
yeah, right. That made me kind of like write this. So I guess I'll just like read it. And I was saying how they as in I'm referring to the Italians here and how they like profit off of black people. But yet like all they do is constantly like disrespect them and bugging out, just like wanted Sal to put up like just to just to have Sal respect them enough to put up like a picture of a black person
They're
because
they're his only source of income.
exactly. And Sal and like his family idolize these Italians, claiming that they help shape their business and that they're the ones that they like owe their business to. Yet they do absolutely nothing to contribute to their business. And the people that help keep your business afloat are the ones that like they're mocking and taking advantage of and being completely like inappropriate to and like spewing all these like racial aggressions towards them and like calling them like the N-word and all that. And it's really just kind of showing how people will always take advantage of black people and culture and profit off of it. And I think also whenever what's the son's name? John Tudoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character said they're more than black when he was talking to Mookie and he was like, "Yeah, but you like all these black artists and sports players and whatever." And then yeah, he responds with, "Yeah, but they're more than black." And I was like,
Bruh. It's a great performance, but that character is really horrible.
"Oh yeah,
Horrible.
awful." No,
Horrible.
I mean John Tudor's great. I love him.
Great.
Uh
He's great in Severance too. Amazing in Severance.
yeah,
He's great in
great. Yeah, he's awesome in that. But that was just like I was like, "Damn."
that. Such an achy thing to say. And
Yeah.
so like complex as well. Building off that, um, so it's these people profiting off Black people, African Americans in Brooklyn. That's their only source of income. This there was an interesting choice here, which is a beautiful choice, and the music here is wonderful. It's choosing jazz as a backdrop for all of this. Jazz, horns, drums, everything you'd find in jazz, specifically horns. It's like horn-oriented jazz. I love the score here. It's really beautiful. It shows up in the exact correct places, and it makes me super emotional. I wish it was on Apple Music, but it's not. Um, but the choice to use jazz, which is famously a genre that was really started by African Americans, and it's like it's something that was started by Black culture. It's made of Black artists. We're talking Miles Davis. We're talking Charles Mingus, freaking Thelonious Monk, and it's this art that's famously been diminished by white people profiting off it and making like sanitized version of these messy, beautiful, sprawling jazz pieces for the general audiences. And so that kind of connects to that because these are again artists that are profiting off Black people, but don't have enough respect for them to let them really flourish and create these beautiful pieces that they're stealing from. So that's what I was reminded of. And this whole movie kind of reminds me of like a messy jazz piece a la Miles Davis. Because it's like messy in that all of those music pieces from the 80s, 60s, 90s, those beautiful jazz, messy jazz pieces are so fueled by race and anger, and you could feel it in the music. You feel it in the music here, and this movie really reminds me of something like Bitches Brew or what is that? The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady. Those kind of albums. I really like jazz, so that was my connection.
That's really sick, dude. Like the fucking what's it called? Was it the Harlem Renaissance? We learned about that, I think. Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
that I was you know what that is, right? Is that the right? Let me
Like
double.
revolution in jazz music,
Yeah, or not just jazz, but
rock too. The shit Elvis stole from.
oh my God. No,
Elvis is a white
if
artist.
if you don't know, let me just read you what it says on Google. So the Harlem Renaissance was an intellectual and cultural revival of African American music, dance, art, fashion, literature, theater, politics, scholarships centered in Harlem, Manhattan, in New York in the 20s and 30s.
This is much earlier
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that was
yeah.
Harlem jazz scene, but I don't know if they don't call that the Harlem Renaissance.
No, that
Oh,
was
well,
like early, early.
if you guys want to watch a great movie that's really about this like capturing of beautiful music and sanitized versions of it, watch Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Mm.
That's about music being stolen, but whole other thing.
With was that
That's
with
the connection
Chadwick Boseman?
with both. Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it.
Watch. Definitely must watch. A great companion piece to this one as well. But yeah, what was do you have other notes, anecdotes on them?
That was like my pretty much like my main thing, and just how that shows, but also like something where is it? Oh, something I found interesting, I guess, that like I didn't necessarily know how to fully interpret was like everyone's relationship with the mayor,
Huh.
because like I feel like people that like live on this block like either like love him or hate him. Like Mookie like really respects him and likes him, but then like you have I have his name Ahmad. He was like yelling at the mayor and calling him like a drunken fool and like saying how he's like embarrassing or whatever, and then his friends were like, no, just leave him alone, he's an old man. And he was like, no, no, and he was like yelling at him, and then the lady, I forgot the lady's name.
Sister.
Yeah, yeah. She was like, she did not like him, but then at the end, I don't know. What did you think about that?
Funny that her name is mother and sister.
Yeah.
That's yeah, his character is kind of tragic, I think. The mayor's. It's someone I think is he homeless? Was that him in the beginning on the bed? He's like, damn, it's hot. Is
I
that
th-
him?
thought
I don't know. I don't know.
so.
He looks homeless. He's not dressed. He's a very dirty guy. He's
Yeah.
not in the best shape. I mean, it's kind of someone I think suffering from systemic oppression and like
Mm-hmm.
that. But he's kind of this character that's very wise. He's called the mayor. He's like this self-appointed leader of the I don't know. He's super interesting. I would have a note about that if I thought about it more, but I was just my head was in totally other places. But yeah, the mayor's interesting character. My last note is about Radio Raheem's monologue with Love and Hate.
Right. Yes.
There's a very famous movie directed by this one guy um that's called The Night of the Hunter. And it's a terrifying movie. It's very well known for its beautiful cinematography, scary story. It's Guillermo del Toro's favorite movie. It
Mm-hmm.
has an all-white cast. And the main character, the main villain, who is the antagonist of the story, is played by Robert Mitchum, and this character has the tattoos love and hate on his fingers, like tattooed. And he has this famous monologue where he's interlocking his fingers and like doing shit, and he's telling a biblical story about Cain and his brothers and how love overcame hate, or how hate overcame love. Because in that movie, it's hate overcame love. In this one, it's flipped. It's a black man, not tattoos. It's jewelry, gold, blingy jewelry. This like stoic figure talking about love overcoming hate. I think that monologue is so powerful. I think it's definitely influenced by Night of the Hunter, but it flips it. It flips this. Um, Such a wonderful monologue. What was your reaction to that one?
I think I was like waiting for it to happen because it is so famous, you know?
Yeah.
And so like everyone has like seen pictures or has seen the picture of him like looking down at the camera and like showing his knuckles. And it's just like very, I guess, inspirational, and it definitely like connects to the ending. But what's also so crazy to me is that like this was 89.
That was 87.
It's in the 80s, like late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
um and it's like
89. You're so
all
right.
okay, yeah,
Loser.
so it's so applicable to today, and it's like
Oh
it's
God, yeah.
crazy because like they the police officers like killed him with their baton by like choking him.
So
And
George Floyd.
it's it's like George Floyd, and like also we were just learning about the Daniel Penny and the other, I forgot his name, but the Daniel Penny guy who like killed the black man on the New York City subway by putting him in a chokehold for 13 minutes. Like it's crazy how this shit, they're like talking about that in the 90s, making a statement about it, trying to put an end to it, and it's still happening today.
Is.
Like, ugh, and how his monologue should it's yeah, it's a movie. It's just in a movie. It's just like a script that he was reading, but it's like so deep and it applies. So yeah, it just like applies to like everything that we should do today, and just like I don't know, we have to like it's so we have to like continue to spread, I guess, that love and that positivity. And as people who are, we're white, so
Privilege, like, yeah.
like we obviously are not facing the type of oppression that black people are. So, you know,
Or
it's
Korean people or Puerto Rican people for that
yeah.
matter.
And so it's like up to us, I guess, to spread that love, because like obviously like if we don't do it, it's never gonna go anywhere.
The heart.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. It
Do the right thing.
hits.
such a relevant movie, and it's
It,
so sad. I think in thousands of years it will be relevant. I know it's a sad thing to say, but I think it will. I mean, even if literal like racism is solved, hatred is always there.
yeah,
This movie is about hatred. Hatred is the key word here. And you know, it really depends on how you feel as a person. Will love prevail? Will hate prevail? When Mookie goes to grab that trash can, would you do that? Would you react that way? Do you think hatred is in you enough for you to riot, or do you think love will overcome, and no one will do that, but someone will always pick up the trash can? You know, there's always this internal human conflict that's in all of us between love and hate, and this movie will forever be relevant because of that, because even if we're in some freaking pods like in the Matrix in a bunch of years, like we'll still have that conflict within us.
yeah. And it's
um
also like there when you want to spread love, and like people in this movie want to spread that, I guess. But then when there is so much hate, when there's so much violence, and there's no outlet to spread the love anymore, then you succumb to start spreading the hate and becoming violent, which is sad. And like, it shouldn't be like that, but then sometimes it's the only way to get your message across, unfortunately.
yeah, it's the idea of the riots that happened in 2020, and also the riots that happened the 10 years before that, and 10 years before that, and 10 years before that, um and the ones in this movie are, you know, they separate people. It's a conflict between people. Is violence necessary? um and you know, we have our own personal beliefs, but what I love about this movie is that it really does pose questions to you, and it sticks with you. I watched this not yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday during lunchtime, and it hasn't left my head. When I was watching You're Totally Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, it's all I was thinking about was this movie. Um, and because it sticks with you, and I'm still thinking about it, and I will be thinking about it because it's so emotional. Um, Closing thoughts. Do you have anything?
My closing thoughts is that this movie was great and everything about it is awesome. And also, I was laughing because do you remember when that one do you remember whenever they were calling the mayor an Azu Pop? And then
What?
Mookie goes, the mayor ain't no Azu Pop, because like the I don't know what that word means, but that
I
was
don't know. That was hilarious. I was
that
laughing.
I was laughing very hard at that. And they're like, Azu Pop, what's an Azu Pop? That was yeah. But
It,
I
it
don't know.
what's cool about this is that it's not only funny and entertaining, but like we can also have the dialogue that we just had about it, which is like profound stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wanna do you want to do ratings?
You rate first.
Oh, where did you
Yes.
last time?
Wait. Um.
Whatever.
Oh
I
yeah,
can.
you went first last time. I told you to go first. Okay, I'll
uh,
go first this time.
okay, okay,
So that next week you can go first.
right.
Okay, so my rating for this movie is 5 out of 5.
Okay, mine is two.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Um,
no way that this was gonna be anything less than a 5 out of 5. Like the first 15 minutes, and I was like, yeah, sealed, done,
yeah,
confirmed.
you feel it in your heart when it's 5 out of 5. When
Yeah.
it's like 5 minutes, and I'm like, God, this movie.
Yeah. So we both rated it fives.
It's indescribable. I'm so happy I chose this, and I'm so happy that you vibed with it so much, and I'm so happy if someone watches this podcast and gets put on it, because it's
I'm so happy you picked this movie. Like I have been wanting to watch it for so long, and this is just like yes, thank you.
no problem. And I'm gonna buy it on Criterion for sure. No,
Woo! Yeah.
Doubt about it. That case is beautiful, and I'm gonna watch this again in my life. I would put it in league with some of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I would.
definitely.
Because it's so tight and perfectly crafted.
Hmm.
It deserves all the hype. So please watch Do the Right Thing. If you haven't.
Definitely. All
Shall we
right.
get
Should we get to next week's pick?
I think we should.
All right,
Okay,
let's turn these backgrounds off.
let's turn these bad boys off.
All right.
I'm nervous as usual.
You should be nervous for this one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's Solo, isn't it?
How'd you know?
No,
No, it's
I'm gonna
not.
lose my shit king. Stop.
Okay, that was a bit much.
Sorry.
Let me see if I need it. Do I need a filter for this?
What?
Oh,
What do you mean? What the fuck? Why?
no, I mean actually this filter if you've seen this movie before, you would understand why I put that filter on for a moment. But okay. So, this movie I have seen it before.
Okay.
You have not seen it before. And if you have seen it, I'm going to be very upset. I don't think you have though.
Okay.
Wait, I have to like make sure now because I'm like doubting myself.
It's not. It's about ants.
No, it's not an ant. That was an alien.
It was an alien. It's
Yeah.
about aliens.
Okay, you haven't seen it. Woo!
Maybe I just
Okay.
it. Maybe it is
Okay.
good.
This movie is by um my favorite director.
Well, I'm not sure what your favorite director is.
And like I said, I've seen it. You haven't seen it. It's a heavy one. It's really heavy.
Okay.
Um, and a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people think it's a very disturbing movie,
Oh no.
and a lot of people say that after watching it once, they never want to watch it again. But
Girl.
I think this will be a good one, and yeah. So my pick my pick of the week is the 2004 movie directed by Greg Araki,
Ragnarok. Okay.
Mysterious Skin.
No. Okay. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Don't get me wrong, I'm very excited. That's a great pick.
Is
And
this gonna
terrible.
be is this gonna be no, this is not your first Araki movie.
It is my first Iraqi movie.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Wait, you haven't seen Smiley Face?
I haven't. And you know what? I've also never seen a movie rated NC-17.
Yes, this is an NC-17 rated movie.
Meli, I'm scared.
Um, it's definitely a lot, but you have a week to watch it, so don't worry.
Well, I probably won't be watching it in parts.
No, I know. I mean, like you have like a week to, like,
Like
what I'm
the right
saying
time.
is that like it's not like you have to watch it tonight for tomorrow.
Right.
Like you
Right.
have time to decide when you want to watch it.
Okay. Okay.
Personally, I mean, it's obviously disturbing. Like, if you know what the movie is, I don't think it's like the most disturbing movie ever. I know some people think that, but that's also like people on TikTok. So,
Right.
but I'm excited to see what Yoav thinks of this movie.
Okay. I'm excited to see what Yoav thinks too.
Yeah. This one's a heavy one. This one's dark and not in the way that Do the Right Thing was, because that was like heavy, but like it
Oh,
wasn't. Yeah.
God.
I
Okay.
think, I think, hold on. Out of all the movies that we've watched, yeah, this one is definitely our most, I think, disturbing one yet.
Well, we haven't seen such disturbing things. I mean, we watched, I think our most one was Oppenheimer, probably.
Yeah.
And I mean, the movie's disturbing, but I don't know if
Well, that's
as
why I'm saying this one's the most disturbing one we'll see so
oh,
far.
girl. Okay. Well, I'm super pumped to watch it. Please watch it at home and check out Do the Right Thing on whatever wherever you can. And
Yes.
so much if you've gone here. And if you haven't seen, really, if you haven't seen Do the Right Thing, why are you even here?
Why are you alive at this point?
Just, just die. Just bury yourself in sand. And this isn't coming from a place of hate, it's coming from love.
Yeah, love because we want you guys to like see the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
and like
Right. But kill yourself. Anyways, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next week with Mysterious Skin.
Yep. Bye
Bye.
guys.